name's Rebecca. I live in Flitwick and I worship here at this lovely church in Westoning, and I am the families and community worker covering 2 benefices and 5 churches. This is Westoning, St Mary Magdalene Westoning Parish Church. I've been a youth and children's worker for 15 to 20 years in a voluntary and a paid employment capacity. Yeah, this is a small village, about 4,000 or 5,000 people, and the young people here, once they leave lower school, have to be bused to their various schools. So it's a little bit disjointed in that sort of way. We run 2 youth groups. We have a youth group based here at Westoning and a youth group based at Toddington. And we have middle schools here, so our middle schools run from age 9 to age 13. So our age range is 9 to 13s because they're all at school together. I would really like to see at some point a joint residential for both the groups. I really do think getting kids away, having a time away together, being able to worship together, learn together, talk and chat and grab those teachable moments when you're away are absolutely second to none. I think residentials are important because you get a different sense of them as a person. Sometimes if they're church children and their families are involved in church, they feel they've got a specific persona to stand up to and be that person. Sometimes, especially if they're young people of leaders, it's quite difficult for them in church. So I think getting them away is good for them to be able to be who they really are. And then if you've got young people on the periphery of the church who perhaps just come into the youth group with their friends but their families aren't involved, it's a real opportunity then for those children and young people to see Christianity in action, because when you're away and you're away from all the hustle and bustle, they're trying new experiences, they make new friends, we get to talk to them in a different way, and I just really do just think residentials are the way to go. And that's probably because as a young person myself, the thing I looked forward to the most was the weekend away. And I look back and I know I was one of those challenging young people, always up to no good and pushing the boundaries a bit. But actually that's just part of learning and growing up. And probably on one of those residentials was that one time I made my promise to God. And if we don't give young people the proper opportunities to do that, how are they ever going to make those promises and allow God into their lives and change them? I think if you're going to run a residential, the planning is key. You almost need to plan down to the absolute nth minute. Young people can get bored really easily, so pack a lot in, but make sure you have time and space for reflection and God time. We used to do ours at the end of the day when the young people were feeling a bit more tired and a bit calmer, but a thought for the day just at the beginning, just to get them thinking about what we might be talking about later, is good. Plenty of activities. Please don't be Bible bashing children. Don't use it as a weekend away to go mad. I'm a firm believer that to really show Christianity is living it out, and it's great to have the Bible as backup and show them in the Bible where it says, I do this because it tells me here. But just love in action, God in action, and in a residential. I've had many conversations with young people. Why are you doing this for us? Why? Because I love you. Why do you love me? Well, because actually God loves me and He's asked me to love you. So, and have that conversation around what that is. So if you're not on a residential, you don't get those opportunities. My top tip would be, don't stand up in church and say, this is what I'm planning to do, who would like to volunteer? I think if you're planning on something, you need to know the people in your church, and there will be 1 or 2 people who you know you want on your team, and go and ask them. A personal invitation and an explanation to that person as to why you think they'll be good not only helps them and encourages them, but make sure you've got the right team in place as well.